The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
Race fans, it's time for Chase to the Checkered. This week, Jennerstown Speedway wrapped up the 2002 season of the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series presented by Dodge. We crowned the 5 division champs. After some real excitement on the track, it's stars and stripes forever, so stand up and salute. Because the 2002 grand finale of Chase to the Checkered starts now.
Hi, we're the Jennerstown Fire Department, the Fire Rescue and EMS here at Jennerstown Speedway.
Race fans, start your engines!
Race fans, welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. Last Saturday at Jennerstown Speedway, we wrapped up the 2002 regular season in grand style. The largest crowd of the year was on hand to take part in all the festivities. The fun started outside of the track. You couldn't miss the world's largest American flag. It was surrounded by fire trucks from all around the region. Fans could also take a ride in the sky. Cherokee helicopter service was at Jennerstown Speedway, providing a bird's eye view of the track and Old Glory. The band Country Appeal filled the air with some awesome music, while event sponsor CarQuest was on hand enjoying the day. In the pits, many drivers were remembering 9/11 with special paint schemes. Here's Todd Price's truck, all decked out in the stars and stripes. Number 77, Wade Champano's hood reflected the meaning of the day. Josh Kokenauer's crew let everyone know what the day was all about. As the fans took their seats, drivers mounted up and followed the Brooks Automotive Group pace car and the CarQuest trucks in 4 red, white, and blue parade laps. One for each of the tragedies on September 11th, 2001. After a heartfelt national anthem, the events began. First up, the inaugural Flight 93 Memorial Race. But first, this was a Spectator 500 race. Drivers were aligned with 5 lucky fans. If their driver won, they won $500. Then, the thousands on hand started the race with some familiar words. Number 25, Rick Miller had the pole, but number 75, Barry Audi, took the lead early in the 93-lap race. While Audi was in front, number 94, Mark Smith, came alongside and passed Rick Miller for second on lap 16. 10 laps later, number 31, Mark Catone, passed Miller for third. On lap 34, number 94, Mark Smith, came alongside of Audi and moved to the front of the pack. Turn 1 was ablaze on lap 46 when number 69, Chris Lester's car, was on fire after an incident involving number 58, Jim Uratovich, and number 26, Bob Arzenberger. Uratovich was unharmed. Lester escaped with a broken arm. A late season reminder to all the fans as to the danger of this sport. After the restart, Catone was right on the bumper of the leader, Mark Smith. After 3 mid-race cautions, Smith and Catone continued their fight. But now, the division points leader, number 98, Neil Brown, was stalking in third. Catone and Smith would wow the crowd with over 50 laps of bumper-to-bumper and door-to-door fighting for the lead. But as we came closer to the checkered, something had to give. With 3 laps to go, disaster strikes the leader as Mark Smith gets sideways, going into turn 4, losing the lead. Smith's woes would continue as he tangled with number 14, Kerry Tadero, on the restart. As expected, there were some discussions in the pits. On the final lap after the restart, number 98, Neil Brown, used the high side and powered next to the leader, number 31, Mark Catone. Brown won the inaugural Flight 93 Memorial Race.
Feels awesome. I can't say enough about my pit crew. They did a great job all year, and I wouldn't be here without them. And I have one awesome pit crew, and there's 10 other drivers that could be here if they had my pit crew.
You get the feeling he's satisfied with his pit crew? Brown and Catone were followed by Bobby Henry, Gary Wiltrout, and Doug Bakioki in the top 5. Barry Audi, Brad Creighton, Rick Miller, and Tim Bainey Jr. are followed by Mark Smith, who finished 10th after the lap 90 spin. We'll have the final point standings and interview with the points champ later in the show. Coming up next on C2C, we've got the highlights from the rest of the features in last Saturday's racing at Jennerstown. 8 points separated Marion Reno Jr., Todd Price, and Josh Kokenauer in the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks. Who would come out on top? Tune in to see. That's coming up on Chase to the Checkered. Welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. In the Sen West Street Stocks, number 34, Richard Nicola, returned to his early season form and rifled out to the lead. But number 9, George Nicola Jr., was working his way through the pack. Here, he passes number 35, Bill Ashton, taking the 3rd place position. 5 laps later, he gets past number 73, Roger Onstead, for 2nd. Richard Nicola would maintain his lead after a late race caution and go on to win the Sen West Street Stocks feature. Man, get a room already, would you? We've got a show to do.
I'd like to thank my team, my brother Jim, Kev, my nephew Joe, who sets up the car, Mark Bloom, who's a big sponsor with Bobby's Lounge, and I got to thank my wife because she's been standing by me all these years through all the bad times, so this is great.
He saved the best for last as Richard Nicola won his first feature of 2002 in the Sen West Street Stocks. He was followed by George Nicola Jr., Dink Colarusso, Adam Kostelnik, and Bill Ashton in the top 5 feature finishers in the Sen West Street Stocks. Now, let's check out the action from the 96.5 Mountain Chargers. Number 04, Robert Shipp, took off with the lead, but not without a challenge by number 94, Travis Smith. But as we approach the halfway point, number 55, Curtis Stewart Jr., blew past Smith to take 2nd. It only took him a lap or 2, and Stewart was right on Shipp's bumper. But that was as close as he was going to get, as Robert Shipp took the victory in the final 96.5 Mountain Charger feature of 2002.
It was a rough race. I knew Curtis Stewart was right on my bumper the whole race. the only thing I can really do is try and hold my line and not let him get by me.
Jefferson Hills, PA's Robert Ship was followed by Curtis Stewart Jr., Travis Smith, Greg Praisner, and Chuck Slate in the top 5 feature finishers in the 96.5 Mountain Chargers. In the men's enduro feature, it was the 002 of Scott Alborn in Victory Lane.
Well, the guy that owns this car went to a car show, so I told him I was driving tonight, and I let my cousin run mine tonight. Oh, it's tough. There's a lot of good drivers in here, there's a lot of cars, and it's tough to win these races.
Up 25 laps of the Cover Insurance Agency PA Legacies. Number 4, Brett Boyer took off with the early lead, followed by a charging number 7, Mark Howard. Number 29, Joey Denowitz, and number 70, PJ Ehrlich, were in a hot battle for third. As they came out of turn 2, Ehrlich tapped Denowitz out of the way, sending him spinning. Was this a little payback? This happened last week. You be the judge. On the restart, Mark Howard took the lead. Number 4, Brett Boyer makes contact with the wall, damaging his steering. He then hits the wall again. Take a look at the impact. Boyer was okay. He just had the wind knocked out of him. 2 laps later, number 70, PJ Ehrlich, worked his way alongside of Mark Howard and passed him for the lead. Bill Miller was resting on the inside retaining wall of the front stretch, bringing out the caution on lap 14. On the restart, Howard and Ehrlich were door-to-door for the lead. But all together now, folks. Here comes Joey Denowitz. Denowitz went low and followed Ehrlich past Mark Howard. Ehrlich and Denowitz rode side by side for a lap and a half, but Ehrlich would again tap Denowitz out of the way, coming out of turn 2. NASCAR officials let him go the first time, but this time they send Ehrlich to the back of the pack. Denowitz went to the pits. He had nothing left to prove in 2002. We'll talk about that later. After 2 late race cautions, PJ Ehrlich had caught up to the race leader, Mark Howard. But the Randleman, North Carolina driver punched the throttle and went on to win the final Cobra Insurance Agency PA Legacy Division feature of 2002.
I was real loose tonight, but CarQuest gave me the best seat in the house. The 70 and 29 they both had me beat. I was just way too loose, and when he made it 3 wide, I jumped behind him, and they started doing some tagging, and I said, this is going to be a fun roll. I wish they could have went longer, because I could have put a video in here. We would have all had a great time, because that was fun to watch. I hate that he spun. I hate that he got taken out like that, but that was an awful lot of fun.
Mark Howard and PJ Ehrlich were followed by Chris Brink, Dave Campbell, and Brad Grace in the top 5 feature finishers in the Cobra Insurance Agency PA Legacies. Was that enough action for you? Well, get strapped in, because it's time for the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks. Number 16, Eugene Ciferno, had the early lead, but number 0, Dave Brunel, and number 96, Todd Price, were moving forward. Price powered the red, white, and blue 96 under Brunel for third. A lap later, he used the same line to pass number 00, Jason Hounsel, for second. He would use the same low groove to get past Ciferno for the lead on lap 6. Number 8, Marion Reno Jr., and number 20, Josh Kokenauer, were again fighting door-to-door for position. The points race is tight, and every position counts. Reno got by Kokenauer, taking the 3rd place position. Number 12, Aaron Will, was fighting hard to catch up to the leader, Price. But the Stars and Stripes were just too tough, as Todd Price went on to win the final 2002 Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Truck feature.
Oh, this division's so tough this year. If you mess up one night, I mean, the points are so tight, the competition's so good.
Alum Bank PA's Todd Price was followed by Aaron Will, who held off a last-second charge by third place Marion Reno Jr. Jason Lasky and Josh Kokenauer round out the top 5 finishers in the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks. So who are the points champions? We'll have that and more when Chase to the Checkered salutes the champions. That's next, right after this. Welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. Be sure to stop by chasetothecheckered.com during the off-season to stay up to date with what is coming up in the 2003 season. Did you miss an episode of C2C? Looking to buy a hat, shirt, or jacket? You can find it all on chasetothecheckered.com. And don't forget, on October 5th, Jennerstown Speedway welcomes the USAR Hooters Pro Cup for the Charlie Campbell Memorial Miller Lite 250. Plus, the champion of the Naturally Fresh Late Model Challenge will be crowned after racing the Naturally Fresh Honey Mustard Late Model 50. Tickets are on sale now. And finally, it's Chase to the Checkered salute to the champions. In the 96.5 Mountain Chargers, it was Curtis Stewart Jr. on top.
It was really a Cinderella season. Nobody would ever thought, especially being a new team. I had a couple races last year, and then to come out and be fast right out of the get-go, it was unbelievable. Next year I'm going to be in a truck, and I'm going to give it a shot at that. It's a big learning curve. So I know I'm not going to have the season that I had this year. So I hope to get the seat time, and I'll be back.
With his 11 feature wins in 2002, the North Huntington, PA driver simply dominated the division. He is followed by Travis Smith, Chuck Slate, Phil Grubbs, and Justin Lasky in the top 5 finishers in the 2002 96.5 Mountain Chargers. In the Sen West Street Stocks, Pittsburgh's George Nicola Jr. finished in first.
Oh, it was definitely a learning experience. I'm a rookie up here this year. It's definitely different than Motordrome, which I used to race at and I won a championship at. Motordrome, you drive it in there, you throw it in, you throw it off. And up here, you got to be smooth and finesse it. It's a heck of a year. My hat's off to everybody that helped me. Well, I'm definitely moving up next year. It's either going to be in a truck or a modified. We haven't made that decision yet, and we might keep the street stock around or it might be for sale. I don't know yet.
Nicola won the division by 20 points over Dink Colarusso. Adam Kostelnik, Roger Onstead, and Bill Ashton make up the top 5 in points in the 2002 Sen West Street Stocks. The Cobra Insurance Agency PA Legacy Division was dominated by number 29, Joey Denowitz.
I'm glad for my guys. My guys worked really hard all year long, putting that awesome car underneath me. It made my job look easy, and it was easy at times because the car was so set up. And that was the difference between me and my competition this year, was our cars were dominant, and I just had to point it through the pack. Well, next year we want to up the ante a little bit and go to the National Series. That's the next step with our Allison Legacy Series. The PA Legacy Series with Cover Insurance sponsoring it was a great series to learn on. I used Jennerstown Speedway and the Cover Insurance PA Legacy Series as a stepping stone, and I feel comfortable in doing that. A lot of great drivers have come from these cars.
His record-breaking season allowed Akron, Ohio's Joey Denowitz to reign supreme in the Cover Insurance Agency PA Legacy Division. Brett Boyer, Chris Brink, Kyle Martell, and Dave Campbell make up the rest of the top 5. The Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks points race came down to the wire. White Oak, PA's Marion Reno Jr. took the division by just 2 points.
It's awesome, and if it wasn't for my guys, could not do it. We wrecked here last week pretty bad after the checker flag, and we finished up Thursday night at 2:30 in the morning, and we worked all week long to get it ready to go. We're just going to keep doing the truck, and hey, I'll be 40 years old here this month. Been racing for 22 years. It's awesome.
Reno was followed by Todd Price, Josh Kokenauer, Dave Brunel, and Dave Marrow in the top 5 finishers in the 2002 Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks. And finally, our track champion, Neil Brown, the 2002 Wheeler Brothers AC Delco Late Model champ.
Well, this means a lot more to us. Beginning of the year, if you lead the points, you got to start 10th. Everybody starts in front of you. And Steve Pellis said something that meant a lot to me. He said, if you win a championship starting behind everybody that's in front of you in points, you've earned it. And maybe Neil Brown didn't earn it, but his pit crew earned it. We do this for fun. I'm too old. I'll never go Busch racing or Winston Cup racing. So I try to look at it as, we do this for relaxation and fun. And when the fun's out of it, we're going to quit. We looked into the Hooters Cup last year, and it's out of our financial deal. We don't have enough money to run that competitive. So we passed on it this year, and we're still up in the air for next year.
In his second consecutive championship, Acme PA's Neil Brown was followed by Barry Audi, Mark Smith, Mark Catone, and Bobby Henry in the top 5 finishers in the Wheeler Brothers AC Delco Late Model Division. I'm Bubba Connor. For everyone at Chase to the Checkered, thanks for inviting us into your living room. We'll be back next year, bigger and better, on a whole new season of Chase to the Checkered. We'll see you then.